I'm here with my son Jace, and we were having a conversation, what I would call a father-son conversation the other day, just chatting, but we were talking about a topic that I know you really grabbed hold of, Jace, and you were like, Dad, let's do something with that, because it was really helpful to you.
Yeah.
You want to just share what it was?
So we're talking about how there's a common, in all success, there's generally all the time there's a common factor as to what makes a successful person. And Dad was explaining to me how, it's out of making a habit from what other people don't like to do.
Yeah, well, so when I was about your age, actually starting off, there was a talk I went to, and they mentioned this particular person. He had a quote, and it's something that stayed in my head, and it's never left me. And it went like this: the common denominator of all people who have ever been successful is that they made a habit out of doing the things that failures don't like to do. And I think what struck me was every single word in that phrase was like essential, or I turn it into essential for me or something, right? That, the common denominator, well, that means the common thing. Like, this is true for everyone who's ever been successful, not just some people. It's all people, all the time, who've ever been successful. This is the thing. And I'm like, well, hell, I want to know what that is, because that was like only one thing. That was easy then, So the common denominator of all people who have ever been successful is that they made a habit. So that's key. Out of doing the things that failures don't like to do. So I remember thinking, okay, if you just found out all the things that failures don't like doing and did them, you'd be successful. That was my sort of weird way of interpreting it. But as weird as it is, it's actually true, that if you just sort of think, okay, what do failures not like doing? Failures don't, or people, not failures, people, what do they not like doing? Hard work, getting up early, work, like just cleaning their shoes, like just putting things away, and I'm not perfect in all of those things, but I think it was really helpful to know that that was the rule, and from a business point of view, if I then did the things that most people don't like doing, so selling, cold calling, starting early, working hard, doing those things, dealing with difficult customers, if I had not only did it, but made a habit out of doing it, and actually could turn it into a fun or positive thing, man, that I wondered if that might be the key. And I, after 30 odd years in a career, I think it is pretty much the key, doing those things.
So what you're saying is, if you enjoy doing the things that other people don't like to do, then really that's what's going to help you become successful.
Yeah, but not begrudgingly. Just almost picking some of those things and sort of saying, well, I'll do it with a smile on my face.
And you were saying something about, you gave an example from when we were younger and helping out at school.
Well, there used to be a working bee that we would go to, and there were all these different jobs, but I could tell people wanting to do, like even mowing the lawn is probably one of the easier jobs as a working bee, whereas going into, all those bushes over there where it's thick with weeds and you've got to pull them all out, it just looks overwhelming. I'd be like, give me that one, and part of it for me was building the mental muscle so I could, apply that formula.
Mm-hmm.